welcome back to my channel. I am apologizing once again for another late video. I don't understand how I feel like I have less time to record at home on break when I was at school, but anyways, Vlogmas day, oh no, 18 I want to say, 17, for sure it has to be 18. But anyways, hopping into this video. This is my Miss Universe recap review. I wanted to do this a while ago since the pageant was on Sunday and it's now Friday. So it's been almost a week, but I really got to sit down and go through everything that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to try to keep this under 12 minutes, so we'll see if I can do that. Let's just start out with the beginning. They did this cool little, I'm assuming a Thailand little ritual dance routine, which was pretty cool. They had Neo out there singing and dancing as well, and then after that they introduced the judges. They kind of talked about the phases of the competition. I think Demi came out and talked a little bit, the current Miss, or the former, she's former now, Miss Universe, and then it took about an hour to announce the top 20 and get into the pageant, which was a little, not annoying, but a little, it just felt very dragged on. Like, I feel like you need to kind of keep that going, you know? You don't want to take a whole hour to announce the top 20, but let's talk about, they've done this for a few years now, the whole new top 20 thing. Divide the girls into 3 sections. So there's Africa and Asia Pacific, the Americas, and Europe. And I'm not sure I'm a fan. I guess there's also a wild card section. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this because that means there could be 10 perfect Miss Universes in the Americas section, but they can only take 5 girls. And then those other 5 who could be Miss Universe can't continue participating, you know, because they have to take just 5 from that section. And so I'm not sure I'm a fan of how they divide that. I don't think a lot of people are. I've read and I've watched some of these videos and they're not fans of how they do divide the sections in, because you're letting a lot of girls go that could be potentially be perfect Miss Universes. And so I'm hoping that they kind of switch that up in the near future, but we'll see. So starting in the top 20, they announced Africa and Asia Pacific. Looking at my notes, we had South Africa, Philippines, Nepal, Vietnam. I really liked Vietnam's short spiky hair. I kind of wish you would have styled it differently, but it was cool to see a different type of hairstyle. And then also Thailand, who finished off the top 5, and the crowd just, even on watching on television, you could just hear the crowd's cheers, obviously because the pageant is in Thailand and that's home country. And then we have Europe, we had Poland, Belgium, who I loved her hair too, and she was just very bubbly and sparkly. Then we had Great Britain, Hungary, and Ireland, and that was Europe. And then for the Americas, we had Curacao, Costa Rica, who called, they had a little question segment. Once you got your name called, you went and talked to Steve Harvey, and she called out Steve Harvey. She's a TV host too, and I'm sure you can find the clip online. She called Steve Harvey out and was like, make sure you read the right name on the envelope. And I thought that was pretty interesting I wonder how the judges kind of reacted to that. But and then there was, after Costa Rica, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica. And then we had the wild card, and we pulled USA, got the first wild card, Venezuela. I love Venezuela's long dark hair. Indonesia, Brazil, and Australia. And it's interesting how I want to know how they do wild cards, because typically Venezuela and USA are big pageant sash countries, and for them to get a wild card rather than a spot when they called the Americas was really interesting for me. And so I just kind of wonder how they do that behind the scenes and how they decide who gets the wild card and who gets that top 5 pick in the division. So after they called the top 20, the girls did an impact statement, which was pretty similar to what Miss America did this past year. and they kind of just got to talk about something they're passionate about, maybe their platform. Just they had like 15 seconds to kind of say an initiative, and a lot of girls stumbled, like a lot of girls. I don't know how much time they had to practice this, or maybe it's just the nerves, but a lot of girls were like saying they were kind of just stumbling, they're pausing. I was a little nervous for some of them. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to remember or whatnot, but I thought that was pretty interesting. But it was cool to see that. But they took that impact statement and cut 20 down to 10. I'm not sure I like how they did that, but also it's a good way to see how these girls can speak. Because that's what the job of Miss Universe is you do a lot of public appearances and public speaking. And so I'm not sure how, I don't know where I stand on that yet. I just wish I wish the girls would have practiced more, because they just didn't seem to know what they were saying. And then after the impact statement, they cut down to 10, but before they cut down to 10, they had Miss Spain come out on stage alone and have a little spotlight on Miss Spain, I guess, for being the first transgender woman to grace the Miss Universe stage. There has been transgenders to win pageants, but never to make it to the Miss Universe stage, so they gave her a little spotlight, and thought that was pretty cool. And then after that, they cut down to the top 10. So we're going right in. So top 10, we have South Africa, Vietnam, Venezuela. I love her soft smile. Costa Rica, Venezuela, Philippines, Costa Rica. Costa Rica reminds me a lot of how Sarah Rose was at Miss USA. She's really bubbly and exciting, and you can see her personality, and I think that helped her a lot. Curacao got number 6, Nepal, Canada, Thailand, and then Puerto Rico. They hopped right into swimsuit, and I think I heard that the swimsuits were designed by the Thailand princess. They were pretty cool swimsuits. It was like a 2-piece, but almost a 1-piece, because they came up on the side. It was really interesting. And then they had this cape that was really pretty cool too. Instead of tying it around their waist like they usually do, it was like attached to something up top that they were wearing on their shoulders, and that was pretty cool. My swimsuit standouts, Vietnam. Vietnam was super, super confident. You could just, the way she walked, the way she was smiling, she just knew what she was doing. Philippines has the most perfect walk ever. She walked out into that catwalk. She did a slow turn in a swimsuit, which you don't see a lot. She had a lot of attitude. I just could not, like, it was someone you can't take your eyes off when she's walking. And then Thailand, her swimsuit and bottom didn't match. It was like more orange on the top than it was on the bottom. I don't know if that was on purpose, but I don't know. I don't know what was happening there. That's something I noticed. And then top 10, they go into evening gown, and I'll talk a little bit more about evening gowns than I did swimwear. Thailand, first to come out in evening gown. Beautiful gown, but the hemlines were too long, and she kept stumbling and tripping over them, and it was really affecting how she was walking and the poise, but she covered herself up really well, which I think helped her a lot. But I just wish they would have hemmed it correctly so that she could walk better. And then we had Vietnam. Her dress was not my favorite. I did like her prelims dress better. She wore yellow in prelims and then silver in finals. Her swim walk was better. She just didn't stand out to me in evening gown. And then Venezuela, I love the gown. She wore the same gown she did in prelims. Her hair, everything it just looked like a winning performance. The gown is just stunning. Philippines had this red lava gown, so that was the first pop of color we got. Amazing walk and presence. She did this little pose at the end where she turned and like put her hand up, and it just, only she could pull that off. It was just awesome. Costa Rica, her blue gown was not my favorite, and it just was not a Miss Universe gown to me. Then we had Curacao. I love the top. It fit her perfectly. It was like a V kind of top. I don't know. It just fit her really well. Nepal. She wore this white ombre gown with this little one shoulder feathery thing coming down, and then it was like ombre to red and orange in the bottom to represent something in Nepal, I think. It wasn't my favorite, and she did stumble towards the end of the runway. And then we had Canada. Amazing gown. So she wore the same gown she wore in prelims, but she attached this big skirt to it, and you could see, so in the camera they had Nepal, and then you could see Canada in the background, and Canada just like takes your vision because this dress is so huge and it is such like a winning statement gown. I wish she would have done better. I don't know why she didn't move on. I was a little disappointed, but it was a tough group. And then they had Thailand, was not my favorite gown. I did not like her red gown. And then we had Puerto Rico to finish it off. She had this deep middle slit. It was a beautiful silver gown, but it reminded me a lot of a dress I saw in Miss USA. And then we had top five. Top five was Puerto Rico, Vietnam, Philippines, South Africa, which kind of shocked me since she stumbled, but she still did a really good job like regrouping. And then of course Venezuela. The questions for top five were written by other contestants. I think Puerto Rico, Vietnam, and Venezuela all used an interpreter. I'm just going to save time and move on to final three questions instead of going over the final five. The question in the top three, so moving on to the top three, was the Philippines, South Africa, and Venezuela. They all asked the same question. So the two girls put headphones on while one girl answered the question, and it was, most important lesson, what is the most important lesson that you've learned in life, and how would you apply it to your time as Miss Universe? Philippines answered it by saying she works in a lot of areas that are poor and sad, and she said that she looks in the beauty of that and to be grateful, and she would like to use that as Miss Universe to see great things and make children see great things. I know I'm not saying this word for word. Her answer wasn't a mic drop answer, but it definitely was answering the question, and it definitely stood out compared to the other two contestants. South Africa says that she was exposed to those both privileged and underprivileged. She's learned that we are all human. We all want to be loved and seen the same way, so we should treat each other that way. I wish she would have said, and as Miss Universe, we should treat each other that way, just to tie it back into the question. It was still a great answer. And then Venezuela said she grew up in a family filled with women and each taught her something important, but what she always remembers was that by working hard and chasing her dreams and having courage and strength and willingness to achieve these dreams. And then she said tonight she's proving this by being at Miss Universe. So she didn't really say how she would use it. As they all had great answers, but Philippines just tied it into the question more than the other two, which helped her sit out. And then they come out for their final look, and Philippines is the first girl to come out, and you just know, like instantly, you see her walk out there. Her walk is perfect. She's so confident. It's just like, if she didn't already win it with that answer, she wins it with her final look. And then South Africa, she was having fun. She didn't trip, thank goodness, on the final walk. Her dress, I don't know if they fixed it or what. And Venezuela, she just has my most favorite dress. But second runner-up, was Venezuela. First runner-up, South Africa. It was a little sad not to have a back-to-back, but Philippines just took the crown. She knew what she was doing. And it's exciting to have another Filipino win. When was Pia's year? Let's see, Demi, Iris, and then Pia, I think. So that's another exciting win for the Philippines. I think that's their fourth win. If Venezuela would have won, I think it goes and wins USA Venezuela. So I don't know where that would have put Venezuela. But overall, it was really great. The pageant was really great. It was about 2 hours, a little longer. I wish they would have cut down the time at the beginning, but it was a great performance. So, that's my Miss Universe recap. Did not stay under 12 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.